Hello, Virgo. It's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your July 2023 mid-month general reading. We're exploring the last half of July 2025 for you, the Earth sign of Virgo. Thanks so much for taking the time to be here. Please do like and subscribe. And if you know your other sign placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, watch those as well. It can be helpful for additional insight. And if something really hits home with you and you'd like to explore it in your own personal life, or you like the reading style, if you're interested in a reading with me, personal reading with me for yourself, or perhaps as a gift for someone else, you can email me for more information, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. You can click on the description below to see that contact information as well. I'd love to hear from you. I can usually get back to you within 24 hours. I cover all areas of life: love, romance, relationship, compatibility, career, work, money, investment, 6 and 12-month overviews. There's a little something in there for everyone. Different types, lengths, costs, styles, spreads, and I'm also pretty diligent at the timely scheduling of readings. So email me if you're interested. Okay, Virgo. Let's see what the second half of July looks like for you. We begin with the Four of Swords. Some of you might be feeling quite tired. This is a card of rest, recuperation, renewal, rejuvenation, and in order to do that, you need to take a step back. This is a card about taking a step back to take better care of yourself, or needing to take a step back and take better care of yourself. Some of you may be feeling quite tired. It may be needing a temporary reprieve from stress, anxiety. For some of you, this might be recovery from some kind of, perhaps health issues. Next, we have the Devil. Cyclical issues, habits and patterns that in the short term can be productive, but in the long term become habit and pattern and become unhealthy. Because it represents, the Devil card, whether it's positive or negative, represents an almost or an obsessive level of energy focused in one area. Now, if this is energy you're putting into like building a new business or finishing your degree or, building a house or something like that, you need to take, the energy that you would be putting into other areas of your life and divert it into that. So in the short term, it can be quite productive, especially in the acquiring a goal. But in the long run, it turns into a habit and a pattern and then can become unhealthy and even toxic. And this can be in work, this can be in relationships, it can represent addictions, power and control issues, codependency, too much energy focused over too long of a period of time. But it really kind of depends. But after the Four of Swords, Virgo, it feels like it's too much of something, but we'll clarify. Next, we have the Five of Coins, insufficiency and lack. Some of you may be experiencing some financial or material hardships. You may feel like you don't have enough money, or you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, or you're out of work and you're looking for work and you're just exhausted by the whole experience of it. On an emotional level, if it's not financial and material, on an emotional level, the Five of Coins can represent being kind of blocked, feeling like you're shut out, feeling like you're on the outside, or like you don't belong, or that you're not a part of, which can, some of you, might lead some of you to feeling rejected, abandoned, not good enough. Looks like a bit of a challenging time, Virgo. Your crowning energy, your overall theme and focus for the second half of July is the High Priestess. So this is about paying attention to your intuition. So during this couple of weeks period of time, Virgo, paying attention to what your intuition, which is our connection to divine. Some people call it higher self, some people call it gut instinct. It's usually Spirit's way of kind of giving us feelings or nudges inside, regardless of what the outside circumstances or other people are saying, to tell us what way is the best way to go for us. But let's take a look at that. Let's tell us more about the High Priestess. The Eight of Wands and the Four of Wands. Especially combined with that Four of Swords and the Devil, it looks like your intuition is telling you that there needs to be some kind of perhaps external change of environment for you. It may be that you need to get away for a while. It may be that you need to get away to family, or you need to get away from family. The Eight of Wands is a card of action and momentum and sometimes even travel. The Four of Wands is one of our happy home cards. It's a card that represents, celebratory events that bring people together and kind of remind us and underscore our shared humanity and the relationships we have with each other and in our community. It can represent celebratory events about that. It may be that, you need to get away for a while. It may be that you need to get away on your own, or you need to get away perhaps with family. It may be that you need to look at making a change in your external environment, like it might be time to, again, it's a general reading, so this can be getting away for a little while, getting away for a vacation, or perhaps even moving or relocating, because it feels like there might be issues within your home or family system or environment that are wearing you out. It could be work if you're spending a whole lot of time, struggling to make ends meet and, saving money and all of that kind of stuff. It may be that your work-life balance is out of sync here. Let's take a look at this Four of Swords. Fundamentally, that's what it looks like, whether it's work life or whether it's something going on within the family system or home system or community, your close family network. There's some kind of imbalance here that looks like it's affecting you and affecting your home and family environment. Let's take a look at that Four of Swords. The Page of Swords, the Ace of Wands. So this is taking time to step back and do the research, gather the information. That's what the Page of Swords does. He's kind of like the little watcher of the tarot. Pages are messenger energy, but they're also student and apprentice energy. They can't do too much. They're not like the knights that can take all the information and go out and begin manifesting stuff. The job of a page, the role of a page, is to message back and forth. It's about minor messages and conversation, but it's also about being at the beginning. You're learning. It's kind of a student. You're gathering information. And the Page of Swords is the page of air, which is the intellect anyway. So the Page of Swords is kind of our watcher and our information gatherer. And the Ace of Wands is an exciting new beginning. It feels here like there may be a more practical approach to the problem, the issue, the imbalance here. And it may be a question of doing some research on perhaps there's some programs or agencies or resources available to kind of help something along. It may be a case of finding out what's available, putting the work into finding out what's available for you so that you can work smarter instead of working so much harder. Let's take a look at this Devil card. The thing with the Devil card, though, is that it's tempting, right? That's why it's often a card that shows up for power and control addictions, right? Because in the long run, it can become an unhealthy, toxic cycle, but you do get certain needs met, which is what kind of keeps tugging on you, because that's how, the energy of what this card might mean to you kind of entraps and ensnares us, is by telling us, oh, well, we need that thing, so we keep returning to it, right? It's kind of like if it's a work-life balance here, you're like, yeah, it would be better for me and perhaps better for my family if I didn't work so much or if I didn't focus so much on this. But at the same time, my working so much or focusing so much on this brings in this kind of stuff, or it enables this kind of stuff. So, it's kind of like this endless cycle. Let's take a look at that. The Ten of Cups and the Five of Wands. So this is the happy home, happily ever after, white picket fence, you couldn't want for more. Everything has finally come together, especially where home and family is concerned. But the Five of Wands is a card of conflict, arguing, petty dramas, arguing over the same things over and over and over again. And that's what's clarifying the Devil. Again, it looks like something that's really adversely, negatively affecting home, family. It's like, and it's a good indication as to why you feel so exhausted here. It just keeps going around and around and around and around. There may be a sense that some of you feel trapped in it. Well, what can I do? Sort of energy here. But it feels like, it may be, with this Five of Coins, it may be that you're living in a very cramped space with other people, or maybe you're living with family or something like that. And there are needs that you get met from it, which make it attractive, but yet there's also all this stress that's created by it. That's where the imbalance is coming from. It may be that you have this plan, well, I'm going to stay here this long so we can save enough money to do this. What I'm feeling here is there may be a smarter way to do it. There may be other solutions, help, support, resources to make this process easier or make it or speed it along. Like if you're saving to get into a bigger place or buy a house or property or something like that, it may be that if you do some digging and do some research that you can find help for maybe first-time home buyers, or help for, anything. I'm not quite sure what the imbalance here is in a general reading. Like if you're a single parent and it's just, if it just feels like there's a lot of pressure here, and it feels like if you put a little bit of time and effort into going outside of yourself or getting online or doing some research, that there's actually some other, support, help, resources out there. Let's take a look at this Five of Coins. The Five of Coins is somebody who feels like they have to, can sometimes represent somebody who feels like they have to ask or beg or run after people to get what they want. And sometimes that can be difficult for us if we don't like asking for help, or, we're in need, but perhaps we don't want to ask for help, or we hate doing it. But sometimes it's a necessary thing, and that's why we're here together, right? We're supposed to help each other to the best of our abilities. Five of Coins. Four of Pentacles, Five of Swords. So Four of Pentacles is a card of economy, being careful, especially with financial material stuff, budgeting, saving. The Five of Swords, no matter what. I think some of you might be struggling or having a challenge with asking for help, whether it's from the people that you know, like friends and family. No matter what kind of help it is that you need, whether it's actual physical help, financial material help, that you struggle with that and don't want to do it. It may be that you don't want to go looking at maybe to see if there's programs or agencies or support. Anything that can help you kind of get back a little bit more balance. Or again, if you're saving for something and struggling, especially if it has to do with the home and family, like the environment or the residence, it feels here like some of you are having an issue or struggling to ask for help, or to go or to apply for something, or because you want to do it on your own, but yet it's causing this stress, it's causing this big imbalance in your life, Virgo. And I keep getting the sense that the phrase that keeps going through my head is work smarter, not harder. And it feels like if you put a little bit of time and effort into doing some digging and some research, for some of you, it feels like agencies or programs or something that can help. So, okay. Advice, guidance, feedback from Spirit. Four of Swords again. Taking care of yourself is important. The Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords is the graduate from the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords gathers the information, right? Does the research, gathers the information. And then the Page of Swords passes it on or graduates into the energy of the Knight of Swords. Now, the Knight of Swords is action oriented. He has a goal and a plan. So he takes all of that knowledge and all of that information, and then he goes out and starts actually manifesting and doing physical things with it, right? And this is about having a balance between taking care of yourself, but not crawling into your bed for, a week at a time, right? So this is, again, taking the time to do some digging and do some research, and then taking that information that you gather and going out and actually seeing what can be done, what can you get going here. Eight of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, right? So the Eight of Pentacles is putting the work in for the future, right? Detail oriented so that you can leave behind this situation. Particularly, I'm getting a sense for you that it might be a physical leaving behind too, like you want to physically move from one residence to the other. Maybe you're living in, again, too small of a place. For some of you, I'm getting a very cramped feeling, or you're staying with family because economically it allows you to save, money to get a nice place or buy a home or buy a piece of property or something like that. And it feels like you might have a plan, but that plan is kind of slow, and it feels like there are smarter, more efficient, and faster ways to get this done, but you initially have to do the work into doing the research and seeing what there is available out there, so that you can get some balance back into your life here. So, all right, I'm going to leave it there, Virgo. Those are your messages for the second half of July 2025. For those of you for whom it made sense and hit home, I hope it was helpful and useful to you. If it did, and you'd like to explore how this works out in your own personal life, or you like the reading style, again, if you're interested in a personal reading with me for yourself or as a gift for someone else, email me, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. You can click on the description below of this video to see that contact information as well. I would love to hear from you. I will see you all in a little while. As always, be safe, be well, be blessed, be very blessed, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.